This is a story about a girl and a guy and a German city called Munich. They share their adventures with another guy and a girl. Welcome to Day 8 of Caps and Braids Munich trip. So this is it. We're back home here in Raleigh.
Yep.
And it was a phenomenal trip.
Yes, it was.
You might wonder how it is that we got right here at the beginning of this video, but we can explain. This was our last morning in Germany. So how did we spend it? First, Cap filmed our apartment as a way to say goodbye. We had spent the past week in this enjoyable Airbnb. Before we left, we wanted to make sure all towels had been washed and all signs of our staying here had been removed. And then we set to work on food preparation. Want to see how to make eggs in Munich? Here, watch! Because my wife loves eggs.
Well, no, because we have to finish the eggs. We're leaving today.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And you know what? Why not have our German language lesson right here at the beginning of our last segment? Here it is.
This segment of Learnin' German includes the most commonly used words or phrases from our last day, Day 8.
Apfelmus or Apfelsauce.
Applesauce.
Fish, milk.
Fresh milk.
Fett.
Fat.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Geschirr.
Dishes.
Ehefrau.
Wife.
Waschmaschine.
Washing machine.
Germans take their recycling seriously. Cap learned this when he brought the week's worth of recyclable bottles and cans to the store to drop into the machine. They give you in-store credit for each bottle, but you have to keep the labels on. I don't know what the girl on the machine cover has to do with recycling, but it's kind of freaking me out.
Jared and Melissa had already left before we awoke that morning. When we took leave of the apartment, we made our way by train to the Munich airport. We had a short wait at the train station, or the Bahnhof.
Two immediate differences you'll see in German punctuation. See the date? Most of Europe puts the day first and then the month. In America, we would have written it differently, like this. And then notice the commas instead of periods that designate money. Most of Europe does this.
And speaking of money,
this is what our euros looked like.
We spent most of it. The rest converted back to dollars when we got home.
On the train ride to the airport, we reflected on how well we had become acquainted with the train system. Experts, really.
There was a long line at the Munich airport, which has a longer name. Get ready for it. It's Flughafen München.
Flughafen München.
Franz Josef Strasse. And what international airport wouldn't be complete with a golden camel statue to indicate where they keep the people in the smoking quarantine chamber? Now keep in mind that Germany is 6 hours ahead of Raleigh, which can play games with one's ability to make rational judgments, to stay awake, or to respect boundaries of personal space.
We had the chance to watch some movies, so many, and TV episodes on the flight to Iceland. That was fun. The Reykjavik-Keflavik airport was hospitable. We filled up on some really cold water and food from the airport. And then there was more waiting for our next flight, this one to Boston. Iceland knows how to advertise itself. Even the Icelandic Airlines pre-flight safety procedure is chock full of "look how cool Iceland is" highlights.
There was time for more movie watching for Cap and reading for Braids. We feasted on foods famous in Iceland, like yogurt and clear water for Cap, and for Braids, some fialabit. Try to pronounce it 3 times fast, and some kisses.
And at last we reached the Bay State. We had a 12-hour layover. That's right, 12 hours. So we left the Boston airport and hopped a subway train to Beacon Hill in the pouring rain. Braids' friend and colleague Emily had invited us over to her apartment. We took the blue line and got lost, almost, but we made it there eventually. Emily treated us to some great snacks and even insisted on us staying there for the night. So we did.
The next morning, we caught a cab ride at 4 a.m. and headed back to the airport. Boston has done pretty well for itself in the world of sports. And then we had the flight back to Raleigh. These are a lot of cumulus clouds.
We're in RDU, and we just called our first Uber driver. Together. And back at our condominium, we checked in on our garden. There's our basil and our green pepper plant, and our organic tomatoes. And in the back, the organic carrots were just popping out of the ground. We think we waited too long for most of these guys. Anyway, it was a great trip, and now we say, Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, auf Wiedersehen.